I made this post late last night, and I checked back a few hours later, and the post is currently sitting at 15k likes, 5.4k bookmarks, and almost 700 retweets, and almost has 500,000 views on it. It is safe to say a lot of people are interested in Uzaki-chan's manga, but also a lot of people are wondering if this image I posted is just bait, fake, and it's not real. And I'm just gonna, spoiler alert here, it's real. This is 100% a real image, and I'm just going to clarify a few things for you. So basically, Volume 12 of Uzaki-chan's manga came out with an extra page, basically adding in some stuff that wasn't in the magazine chapter release, and this is what the author of Uzaki-chan added in. So there is the original page. If you went back to read the chapters and all that, if you go back, you'll probably recognize this page without Uzaki being in it, but this was added in the volume release, aka the volume release that came out has this with it. And you can literally go down into the comment section, you can see people even talk about the situation that people were aware that when Volume 12's extras came out, that it was going to be some form of uncensored content. People didn't expect full-on, let's say, hentai, so to speak, but people expected a little bit more, raunchy in terms of, like, how the original chapter was. And that's exactly what the author clearly delivered with the chapter release. Now, one thing I want to state before I go any further, I know a lot of people are thinking to themselves, why was this added? Well, why not? I mean, to be fair, the whole point of that chapter and what's going on in Uzaki-chan is literally our main character pretty much, wifing up Uzaki. He's, gonna marry her. They literally, got intimate with each other. We literally had a chapter dedicated to just that, but also Uzaki riding the dragon so hard that her body was broken, and she literally had to be nursed back to health, which is just, that's hilarious. That is legitimately hilarious when you really think about that for a second. But the point of the matter is that Volume 12 that came out is obviously causing a lot of waves. A lot of people now, including myself, are starting to find out about the changes within the volume, and I'm really happy about that, because obviously, I know mangaka, when they release a volume, typically, the manga volume might have a few little goodies and extras for the reader, but it is, it doesn't happen too often where you see something to this level with Uzaki-chan's manga actually adding in pretty much NSFW content within its volume release that is not technically there in its magazine release. I mean, you usually, often when it comes to offers like making a volume, they might patch up and make the artwork look a little bit better. I mean, Togashi comes to mind that does Hunter x Hunter. You compare his weekly chapter releases to his actual volume releases, and it's just night and day in terms of the way the actual artwork looks. You can check it up on Google, you can look it up online, you can definitely see the cross comparisons. But the point I'm trying to make is that I really do respect the author for adding in extra little details that technically was not there in the original manga. Now, one thing I do want to talk about before I go any further with this is the cross comparison with Nagatoro. So, this post right here isn't entirely relevant to everything, but for the last week, Nagatoro came to an end, and there was a lot of controversy and a lot of drama around that. And this post is one of those rare posts that brought a lot of positivity to the manga. I mean, you literally saw, like, there's a lot of likes here as well, and I'm very happy about that. Now, obviously, if you compare that post with this post and all that, and you see what people are saying, comparing Nagatoro with literally Hitler and all that, which is just, it's wild. It's honestly crazy. But, anyways, there's been a lot of negativity around, like, Nagatoro and romance series in general, and obviously, with this series not making traction once again, there's going to be those same individuals that are freaks and terminally online that are absolutely going to hate this development of romantic development, and I'm just going to be completely blunt with people, okay? If you don't like fan service, that's fine. You don't like, sexualized content within your stories, that's fine. But the thing is that at the end of the day, the story takes place in a college-like setting, two characters falling in love with each other, building up the courage to ask the other person out, and eventually marry them, which you literally see within the latest chapters. And on top of that as well, it is a story that is about basically adulthood. And them getting intimate with each other is technically going to happen. And Twitter likes to be grossed out about this and stuff, and I just, like, it's very clear that the romance genre is hated, and if there is any form of content like this, it's also extremely hated. And I'm just, I'm very happy that the people in the West don't write manga, that, Japan continues to write their manga the way they want to write it, they don't care. I really appreciate that, because we would never get development like this. We would get this cringy stuff like what we get with Star Wars Acolyte and all that type of crap. So I'm very happy that we don't have writers like that writing manga. But getting back into the main point, Uzaki-chan, obviously it's been on a hiatus for a little bit. People have been waiting for new chapters, and with this new volume release that clearly adds more content, it's very obvious that most likely the manga is going to be picking back up once again. And also, it's been quite a year for rom-coms, honestly. To Uzaki-chan, to Nagatoro and all that, and despite the negativity around it, it's legitimately been such a great year for romance manga. And I just, I'm happy to see series that legitimately have been ongoing for a while, that haven't, let's say, overstayed their welcome too much, are coming to a close and doing a good job with their conclusion. And for the most part, besides the terminally online and the people that are basically freaks, people are enjoying the series, and I always love that. I love that type of stuff. But yeah, I wanted to wrap this up here. I wanted to talk about that. Uzaki-chan fans, we stay winning. I'm glad to see the author does not care, continues to do what they want, and I'm glad to see just how far they are willing to go. I do hope, in general, as I've talked about in the past, I hope Uzaki-chan goes beyond just the content we have. I mean, obviously, this is way beyond the normal stuff you'd see in a romance. Typically, a romance story ends where they confess their love with each other, and that's about it. It ends very quickly. And Uzaki most likely is wrapping up to a close probably soon, but I do hope that the author wants to continue it to some degree with a sequel or whatever, and make a follow-up with, like, maybe, Uzaki being a mother, etc., seeing stuff like that. I think it would be very wholesome to see more stories like that, like motherhood and all that, so hopefully that does happen, but I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. It does help me out a lot. Thank you so much. Chibi out.